Hey, so today we're going to be trying some art hack that I found on this Chinese TikTok app, Douyin, I think. Anyways, let's go. So the first hack is this glass cherry tutorial thing. So this is really popular on the app, and I'll tell you guys my experience, what I was experiencing in the app. Okay, so I created a new account, I downloaded the app, and then when I went to look at the art, I knew Chinese art tutorials are like the best, and they're also kind of my art style. But when I went there, it was like I found the gold pot at the end of the rainbow. Okay, it was so good. And the comments, I don't know if it's a translation error or anything, but I noticed that they actually call the people making the tutorials teachers, which I was like, damn, that's okay, not to infantilize anyone or like fetishize anything, but like that was so cute. That respect, I really love that. Anyways, so the plan is, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying the hack, and then we're going to see if the hack passes or does it flop. So we're going to do pass or flop. Okay, what I noticed is that there was a bunch of glass fruit that were really popular on the app, so I wanted to give it a try. So I found this one out, which is a 6-step tutorial. I really like this step-by-step tutorial because for me, the videos, the translation is available in the video. It's like embedded, kind of like a subtitle, but I did not like it. It was going too fast and I could not understand it. So these image tutorials were really good, and this image tutorial is also a translation. So you can see some words like material light transmission. So that's not a thing that's like a step in art, right? Maybe it's like ambient lighting or something like that, but I think there are some errors, but anyways, I understood the main thing that they were trying to say. Nothing got lost in translation. And honestly, following this tutorial was really easy. I don't think you have to be a intermediate artist or even a pro artist to understand this tutorial, because trust me, I'm not an intermediate artist, because I could never have drawn this without this tutorial. And just looking at the final product, it just looks so complicated, but trust me, it's not. And also doing this, I realized that I find so much joy in following tutorials, because I've always been good at copying what I see and not actually creating it, which obviously comes from my lack of understanding and the basic concept of art, right? I don't know basics like anatomy, colors, and rendering, all of that. I don't know that, but I do have a sort of a talent in a way where I can see an image and copy it by focusing on everything I see and replicating it. I'm just copying stuff. So this was allowing me to copy without feeling guilty about it. Anyways, the final product, it's so scrumptious. I did not even realize that the cherry was looking glassy until I was almost done with it. It's like it clicked and then it never went away. I really love this, and what I love the most is the colors. Like, we'll explore this as we go on towards this video, and you'll see how Chinese creators or artists use colors so well in their drawings, like vibrant colors, and the blend between colors is like mythological but also vibey. I did look at one YouTube video, I think I'll link it down below, but that video just explained how Chinese artists mostly use how the color makes us feel and use it instead of heavily relying on color theory. So anyways, this piece just brings me joy. I don't know why. I'm not even exaggerating, okay? Maybe it's a bad thing, but like, I'm not a kind of person who looks at something that I've drawn and I'm like, oh, it makes me so happy. But like, seeing this makes me really happy. There's just nothing else that I can say except it makes me really happy. And it also looked really good. Like, the glass effect is so apparent. It's obviously not like the reference picture, not verbatim at least, but I did translate it pretty well, I think. So yeah, I love this. If I have to stop talking about it, because I can go on and on and on and on. Okay, I feel like I don't even have to say this, but the first tutorial is a flying pass. Okay, 10 out of 10, would recommend, would stay again, wanna eat it. Yep. Anyways, let's move on. And so after that, I moved on to, okay, so what I saw, another thing that I saw on the app is that, I'll have to explain this part, but when you're using a shadow and you have to add ambient lighting in the shadow or like colors from environments, right? Well, I think, okay, I might be getting this wrong and I've just learned the wrong concept, but I think they tell you to look at the color wheel and find the complementary color, which is opposite of the color of your main color, and then move your color towards that color. Okay, I hope it's making sense, but you move your main color towards your complementary color and then shade your ambient lighting with that color instead of just a lighter main color. You guys understand what I mean, right? You're following? Like, I feel like 10 people clicked off this video. So that was what I was trying to do in this. I don't know if I made it apparent enough in the time lapse and the screen record recording, but trust me that is what I'm trying to do, okay? That is what I'm following. It just looks like I'm drawing a normal hair. I think it's a plum, right? Anyways, but yeah, I love the finished product. Okay, so you can see what I'm talking about in the final product, but if you look at the shadows, I have moved the ambient colors towards a bit more blue or towards a bit more orange, because I was really confused because they just said move it towards that complementary color, but I don't know if they meant it on the warmer side or on the colder side, so I just did both. Also, while I'm at it, I know I use line art for this specific one, but what I've noticed a lot is that a lot of artists on this app do not use line art. They block out their basic larger shapes and then they fill it with details and complete the piece. Or I've also seen some people make line art just to know that they have proper anatomy or like proper proportions, and then later they remove the line art after blocking the colors. I've never done that, and I think I would really benefit from it because I rely on line art a bit too much, especially on my character designs and drawing humans. I think it's easier for me to not do that when I'm just drawing brute, but I'll have to practice that because without line art I don't know shit about anatomy or like anything that makes my art a bit nice to look at, you know? Okay, so the second hack, I keep saying hack, it's a tutorial. So the second tutorial, even though it might seem confusing, I do believe that it has added some value to this piece, so I think it's a pass, but I'll let you guys decide that on the comment. Anyways, that's enough rant for this one. Let's move on to the next tutorial, which is drawing environmental backgrounds amazingly. So this ties in really well with the point that I was talking about, which is they don't do line art, and the specific video that I looked up or I saved for this tutorial says when you're doing line art for backgrounds or environmental studies, it is really easy to get bored of it because there's just so many details that you have to line out, right? So what they're saying is what you do is you block the colors out and then you just start seeing the image. So I think that really appeals to me because I'm someone who is not patient at all. I don't trust the process. I don't go with the flow. I have to see the results immediately or else I quit. So I really thought this would work for me, but when I started doing it, first of all, my proportions were whack. When I first did it, it was like, what is that? It was crazy. And so I decided to skip all of that and go back in again and do it a bit. I don't know, maybe I was just, okay, whenever I'm drawing, I put on a background video. So maybe I was just too immersed in the background video that my art was getting wonky and I did not even realize it. But I went in the second time and I fixed all of that. I mean, the proportions are a bit better. I didn't fix it all perfectly, but it's better than what it was. And yeah, I just did the blocking thing and maybe I did it wrong. I mean, I did start with big shapes and all of that, but maybe I went into smaller details too soon, but this did not do it for me. Maybe I chose the wrong colors, something. And I was also trying to implement the video that I was talking about previously where it said that Chinese artists don't use color theory and are like affected on how the vibe is, and he specifically mentioned that pastels are supposed to be dreamy or ethereal, and that's the vibe I was going for. But yeah, that's why I was like using brighter it's not pastel colors, but these are brighter colors than what I typically use, and I don't know, it just did not work out. Okay, I did not like it. Maybe I had to trust the process a bit too much on this one. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I was not feeling it. Okay, this was bringing me so much misery that I was like, okay, this is a bit too ambitious for me. I have to learn how to draw smaller environmental elements before I go into doing the whole thing, because I suck at drawing backgrounds, so I cannot just go from 0 to 100. So I was like, okay, let me look up some smaller tutorial, and maybe I should look up some step-by-step tutorial because I really like that one. So I moved into the next tutorial. But that being said, I'm not saying that this tutorial will not work for you. It's just it did not work for me. Okay, maybe it's my personality, maybe it's my skill set. I wasn't feeling it. So okay, so the third hack unfortunately is a flop in the Kia Asylum, never to be let out again unless it's for someone else, you know. It might be a niche artist. Anyways, what am I even talking about? Let's move on to tutorial 4, which is the step-by-step tutorial of this rock, and the final product looks so much like straight out of Doraemon. I don't know if you guys watched that. It's a Japanese cartoon, and I don't know, usually their stuff is not detailed like this, but the vibe it's giving, yeah, it's giving that playful, cheery, you know, uplifting vibe. So I really like this, and this is what I'm doing. So I think, yeah, this was pretty easy. It is the step-by-step tutorial like the glass fruit one, and I really seem to enjoy it. And this will be shocking, but for me the best part was when I got to do step 4 and add the details. And I know in this picture it looks like that one meme where it's like when Minecraft players or like Minecraft content creators creators do. Okay, I did some mining off camera and they have like 15 stacks of diamond. That's not, I mean, that I see how that can be seen here because step 3 and step 4 look a lot different and not just one step apart, but I didn't mind it because all I had to do was recreate what I saw, and honestly it was a really fun process for me. But all this recreating talk that I'm doing makes me really wonder, like, can I even call myself an artist if I get this much enjoyment from recreating something? I don't know, that's something I'll have to unpack by myself later. Anyways, the final product was so good. I was really happy with it and it looked close enough to the original pictures. Okay, the tutorial 4 is a flying pass. I love it so much. I love the final piece, love the hack, wanna kiss whoever made this. Okay. Okay, and then we move into hack number 5, which is our last hack. So for this tutorial, I don't know if you can even call it a tutorial, but I wasn't inspired by a specific video, but like I was seeing all these different art on the app and I was noticing a pattern where they do a lot of textures, right? It's not even textures, they use, I mean it is textures, they use textured brushes, and that's what gives them, I don't know how to explain it, but they use textures in a way that tickles my brain, you know? So that is one thing that I was inspired by. And also another thing that inspired me to do this was how in the same pictures where they use textures, I don't know if I was looking at the same artist. I actually haven't looked at it at all, so I had to go back and see if it's the same artist, but in the same drawings there have also been these splotches of bright colors, you know? So these are the colors that in my mind I associate with rim lighting. So there's this bright teal and bright magenta or pink and bright purple. So that is what I was going for, and for this I really spearheaded on the no line art thing. So I just started with the shape. So I think this just happened to work out for me perfectly, or like I don't know what happened, but this does not, the final product does not look off at all, and that is so rare for me. This might even be the first case of that happening, like without line art, the proportions not being like so crazy that you have to delete the file and not let anyone see. But I really like this one, and I also really wanted to exaggerate the colors. I don't know if that's coming through, but if you see in the shadows, I usually would get really scared to use, you know, different colors than a darker version of this beigey white color, but I actually used a dark blue as the shadow, which actually makes a lot of sense. But in my head it's the shadow color of white, so I'm going to the darker version of white, which I shouldn't do. I tried to look at creators who have posted tutorials on this type of art, and what I saw was they start with the blocking and then they start with color variation and then they immediately go to texture. Not my flow. What I usually do is I add textures at the end, not at one of the beginning steps. So that is what I did, I think. So the final hack, like I said, it passes really well. It actually got A+ and is acing every single test. Okay, I fear I'm giving my audience like an abandonment issue with all this posting and ghosting, but I swear it's not gonna happen next time. Okay, next week I'll be there, Saturday, mark the dates. Okay, bye.